Hey everybody, this is Billy at Bakersfield Tuff, and here he is. We made a announcement a couple weeks ago. Got a lot of response that our next issue is, the guy you love to hate, Robby Sawyer. He's here, and it'll be a good issue. One of the things going into the magazine is I told Robby they were going to be pretty straightforward questions, and he pretty much answered them all. He didn't hide from anything, so he definitely is Robby Sawyer on this thing. And a couple things that came out that I thought was interesting, maybe worth talking about. And this was after we had actually planned to do the magazine, is your Santa Maria incident. What happened out there? Because you already got suspended out of there, right? I mean, they threw you out for...
It was kind of a bum deal. I started on the front row in a heat race is where it all began, next to a driver there. And I kind of pushed him up a little bit because the bottom of the track was wet, so I just moved him up because I'd rather been up top. So when the race was over, his father confronted me. It's actually a younger driver. And when his dad kind of was getting in my face in the pits, I just told him, I said, look, this is pretty much how it's going to be. I said, we're all out there to race, and I didn't want to be down in the mud, so I just moved your boy up, and that's all there is to it. So we went on throughout the night to race, and when the race was over in the main event, we broke running second, and he walks up to me and he told me that karma's a bitch, huh? And it wasn't the time to be joking with me. Work out a lot of hours away from my family, and I've had 5 DNFs in 5 races, so kind of just spurted off at the wrong moment, I guess you could say, and that was about it. And then I just kind of had a little altercation, and it was done, and it was over, and that's about it.
Now, how long are you gone from there?
They said that I have a $500 fine and a 2-race suspension, which I'm not going to pay a $500 fine when there's 30 other tracks to race at. So I told him if the 2-race suspension's over and he wants me to come back, I'll come back, but I'm not paying a fine. I'm not going to pay.
How many racetracks have you been suspended from?
Like 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah, that's not something I'm proud of.
I know, but why do you think you get suspended so much? I mean, why? Do you think it's? Do you think it's you, or do you think it's the track?
It's definitely me. It's definitely me. I think a lot of it is people expect it. So some of it kind of fuels me up, and then some of it people don't realize how hard I really do work in my personal life. I work a lot of hours, and no one understands it's 100 hours in a week leading up to that 3 hours at the racetrack. And I do this. Me and my dad do this all on our own. We don't have any big sponsors. We've always done it like this as a family. So it's not like I have a free ride and I can care less what happens. I put a lot of work into this. I spend a lot of time away from my family at work. And then I come home and I spend a lot of time away from my family working on a race car to go out and have something stupid happen. It's hard.
You think you're outspoken a little bit more than you should be, you think? Or do you think, honestly, looking back, can you look back after you do things and say, maybe I shouldn't have done that?
I don't have a single thing that I've done that I'm like, man, I shouldn't have, I wish I wouldn't have done that. There's things that I'm like, oh, that probably wasn't this. Obviously, the incident in Santa Maria, it wasn't the smartest thing. I probably could have handled it a different way, but I was put on the spot, and that's one of those things that it's just, at the time of the heat of the moment, this is a very, very passionate sport. People that do this isn't for the faint of heart, so it gets the best of you.
So what are you thinking about coming into Bakersfield Tuff? A lot of people are going to read that stuff that we talked about, and you've actually said that you don't mind the promoters saying what they want to say. Mm-hmm. And I told you that we'd like to have, I'm probably going to put some of what the Bakersfield Tuff fans' reaction was, and how does that? How do you feel? Because that's going to blow up. It's going to be.
All right, dude. It doesn't bother me a bit what people have to say. The problem is, half the people that are on there bad mouthing me will come up tonight and say, "Hey, Rob, how's it going, dude? How's it going, Rob?" No, I'll be my best friend, and then they go home and they do that shit. And that's what makes me mad, is when people are one-sided to my face, and then I have more respect for people that don't like me, and then when they see me, they make sure that I know they don't like me. But 95% of the people, they come see me, and they always want to talk to me. They always want to say hi. They want to come by my pit and bullshit with me, and then they go home, and I know they're, I see or I hear things that people say. But other than that, I'm glad to be part of the magazine. I'm glad somebody's going to get, that everyone gets a chance to say what they want, and the promoters. And really, people don't get it, but I'm actually really close with all the promoters. Even me and Ruben, after the incident, we've texted, and I'm close with Scott Woodhouse and Scott Schweitzer. And
what about Chris Kearns?
Me and Chris Kearns, we had our fallouts, but you know what? When I moved over when I started working in Santa Maria, Chris Kearns was the one that really tried to find me a place to keep my race car and stuff. So even me and Chris Kearns have set it aside, and that's one thing that I make sure of. I don't hold any grudges, and I think being that I don't, people don't hold grudges with me as well, which makes it nice.
Okay, so tonight we'll throw the GoPro on, and we'll see you get down, and hopefully you can not break, dude.
Yeah, we've had a bad start to the season, which that's just racing. Been doing it 12 years, and that's what happens. So hopefully tonight we got to start in the back all night because we don't have an average here. So start last in the heat. We'll start no better than 12th in the main event. We're gonna get it on. I promise you that.
Okay, well here he is, man. man. The guy they love to hate, Robby Sawyer.
Right on.
This is Robby and Billy and Bakersfield Tuff.